Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're not just talking about planning parties. No, we're going to become architects. Architects of amazing experiences. We're going to build the perfect event right from the ground up using a professional framework that covers strategy, execution, and, maybe most importantly, proving its value. So let's just start with a reality check. There's a reason event management is considered so high pressure. It's because of the sheer number of moving parts. But you know what? Stress really comes from chaos. The whole point of this explainer is to give you a strategic framework that turns all that potential chaos into controlled, flawless execution. We're going to approach this just like a strategic architect would. First, we'll lay out the blueprint. That's where we define our purpose. Then we get into mastering logistics. That's the actual build. After that, we'll install the smart systems with a 2026 tech toolkit. And finally, we do the final inspection to prove our event's value. Okay, let's dive right in. Every great event, just like any great building, has to start with a solid blueprint. This is where you go from a vague idea to a concrete plan with clear, measurable goals. This whole phase is all about strategy and forecasting. Before you even think about booking a venue or printing a flyer, you have to answer this question. Seriously, is the goal to generate leads? Is it to increase sales? Or maybe enhance brand awareness? This primary goal, it becomes your North Star. It's going to influence every single decision you make from here on out. This process, which is adapted from what the pros use, gives you a super clear path. You start with that primary goal, then you break it down into smaller, measurable objectives. And get this, from there, you can actually forecast your return on investment before the event even happens. Then, during the event, you gather data, and afterwards you analyze it to get your final, actual ROI. So, you've got your goals set. Fantastic. But the next critical question is, how are you going to prove you actually achieved them? And this isn't about feelings, it's about hard data. You absolutely need to define your key performance indicators, your KPIs, right from the very beginning. You know, success can feel like this big, abstract word, but it really breaks down into 4 concrete, measurable categories. First up, attendance. How many people registered versus who actually showed up. Then you've got engagement. Were people just sitting there, or were they actively participating? Then, of course, the financials, like your classic ROI. And finally, satisfaction. What did they really think of it? Tracking all 4 gives you a complete 360-degree view. Because think about it, high attendance with low satisfaction, that's a big warning sign for next year. All right, let's move on to the build phase. This is where the architect's plan meets the real world. Logistics, they're the absolute backbone of any event. They're what turns your big strategic vision into a seamless, smooth reality for every single person who walks through the door. Now, here's the thing about logistics. They aren't just one item on a checklist. Nope, it's a dynamic process that unfolds across 3 really distinct phases. Before the event, it's all about planning and prep. During the event, you're in active management and problem-solving mode. And then after, it's all about an efficient wrap-up and that crucial follow-through. Look, the basics are important, but mastery is in the details. The expert planners, they're thinking about the sensory environment. Because if sound is bleeding between rooms, people get fatigued. They plan for technological redundancy, because a Wi-Fi outage isn't just an inconvenience, it's a total showstopper. They prioritize wellness for everyone to prevent burnout. And they have a solid plan for managing assets like photos and recordings, because an event's value doesn't just stop when the doors close. Okay, so modern events are like smart buildings, right? They're powered by intelligent systems. So let's look ahead to the kind of technology that is fundamentally reshaping the industry, the stuff that will define a state-of-the-art event in 2026. The absolute biggest trend in event tech is how AI is evolving. We're moving way past the phase of just, experimenting with AI for fun. The big focus in 2026 is on what's called agentic AI. These are tools that are embedded right into your workflow to autonomously handle tasks, deliver real benefits, and free up your team to do more important work. And don't think this is some far-off futuristic concept. This shift is already well underway. Data from a recent industry report shows that 45% of event organizers are already actively using AI tools in their planning and execution. It's happening now. And as industry leaders like Bob Vayas are pointing out, the real power of AI isn't just about doing things faster. It's about doing them smarter. It's about using data to make better decisions and, this is the key part, to create richer, more engaging experiences for everyone there. And this is where AI truly shines, personalization at scale. I'm talking about smart badges that communicate with registration systems, apps that learn what you like, and tailored session suggestions. It's all about using technology to make every single person, even in a crowd of thousands, feel like the event was designed just for them. But, okay, with all this incredible technology, we have to come back down to earth. The practical realities of budgeting are still a major challenge. In fact, 72% of event professionals expect costs to keep on rising. And the top pressures? They're still the big three: securing the venue, paying for AV and tech, and of course, catering. So, we get to the crucial point. With all this planning, all this execution, and all this spending, how do you prove it was all worth it? Well, the final phase of our architectural process is the inspection. This is where we turn our event data into a compelling story of success for our stakeholders. Your primary tool for this is the post-event report. Now, this isn't just a simple summary email. It's a comprehensive document that objectively measures the event's performance against the original goals you set out in your blueprint. It is your proof of performance.
A really robust report needs these 5 core components. You start with an executive summary for your busy stakeholders. Then you dive deep into the KPI analysis, comparing your actual results to your initial goals. You have to include feedback from attendees and sponsors, present the final budget and ROI, and crucially provide actionable recommendations for the next event. For the financial piece of it, the standard return on investment formula gives you a clear, hard number. You just take the total revenue your event generated, subtract your total costs, divide that by the costs, and boom, you have a simple percentage that immediately communicates financial success. But the value of an event goes so much deeper than a single ROI number. Think about it. As digital data becomes harder to track, live events are this incredible engine for insight. They provide you with invaluable first-party data. That's information you collect directly from your audience about what they truly care about. These are insights you just cannot get anywhere else. And that really brings us to the final and most important question. By following this strategic framework, all the way from the blueprint to the final inspection, you can completely change the conversation. Your event is no longer just another line item expense. It becomes a measurable, a repeatable, and a powerful engine for growth for your entire organization.